This is your macroeconomics video on the interest rate effect. Similar to the wealth effect, the interest rate effect also is one of the reasons why the aggregate demand line is downward sloping. The interest rate effect is the relationship between the price level and investment spending. Remember, investment spending means spending by businesses. So let's start with the same premise as we did for wealth effect. Let's say price levels rise, everything else stays the same, including your income. So you're making the same amount of money, but the things you want to buy and the bills you have to pay are rising. And we learned in the wealth effect that that makes your purchasing power go down. So if you need to pay the exact same amount of bills that you did last month, suddenly you need to find more money. So in order to buy or spend the same amount, you need to have more cash than you have now. So there's a lot of ways that people generate new cash. You can sell off goods and services that you have available. You can dip into your savings or sell off a bond or some stocks. One of the other ways that people do this is they sell off financial assets. So in this case, we're going to talk about bonds, but you could also think about this of you pulling money out of your savings. So let's say that you have a savings bond and you decide to cash it in. Now, typically you want to keep a bond until it matures because that's how you get the most out of it. But if you're in a squeeze and you need to pay the bills and your money is not going as far as it used to, suddenly you need to find more money, and paying the bills immediately becomes more important than waiting until the end of the bond maturity. So people rush to the bank and they start selling off their bonds and taking cash away from the bank. This is the same thing as if you went to the bank and you removed your saved money from the bank. If a whole bunch of people go in and remove cash from savings accounts, the bank is seeing a lot of money leave. So they need to try to incentivize people to put their money back into the bank, because you can't just have people taking money out and not having anybody putting it in. So as this money starts to be removed by people selling their bonds or cashing out their savings, that is going to increase the interest rate, because the bank is going to try to incentivize you to put money into your savings or to buy a bond. Remember from our interest rate video, you want to save money and buy bonds when interest rates are high, because you're going to earn that money. Now, one of the other effects of an interest rate going up is that people who need to borrow money, it's now more expensive. Well, investment or businesses tend to do most of their planning in their business based on loans. So if interest rates go up, it means that businesses cannot borrow money to expand, to hire workers, to pay their workers for the next set of months. They can't start new projects. It becomes very expensive to do that. So one of the side effects of price levels going up is that it also causes interest rates to go up. And as interest rates go up, investment spending is going to drop, because businesses don't want to do the same amount of spending if they're going to have to pay a higher interest when they get a loan from a bank. So thus, an increase in price level causes a decrease in the quantity of goods and services that businesses are demanding or buying because of the interest rate.